We are all going to be wiser than we used to be. Can I guarantee that? I think so. Unless you are well-versed in the theremin, we're going to be wiser than we used to be. Don't you mean therapeutic? Nope. Don't you mean some kind of medicine that is Dimetap? Wasn't there a Dimetap substitute that was kind of triaminic? Don't you mean triaminic? No, I don't mean triaminic at all. I mean theremin, and it's not anything that's going to help with the common cold. This is something that's actually going to be shown off tomorrow morning in London, Ontario, courtesy of HowieZowie, who now joins us on London Live. HowieZowie, how are things?
Very well. How are you, sir?
Great. You own the best name. You know that.
I've been told that, and I do feel that way, so I'll agree.
Okay. I know no other HowieZowies. Have you ever met another HowieZowie?
No.
Good. Keep being just that unique. Now, Howie, you are a theremin player. Am I even saying that right?
Well, I actually think they call us thereminists, but that sounds hard to say, so
because theremin was so easy.
I'll take theremin player.
Theremin player or a thereminist.
Yeah.
Most of us have never heard of a theremin. When was the first time you heard of a theremin?
Oh, I'm going to say that I've probably been aware of them since the 70s. Being a musician in the music business and somebody who works on instruments, is something I was exposed to. But I didn't see my first one till 95, and I didn't own a proper one until about 4 years ago.
So this is something that goes back in time quite a bit. So this isn't some new creation. This has been around for a while. We may not know whether or not we've seen a theremin. HowieZowie, can you describe what a theremin is?
Well, the theremin is actually the earliest electronic instrument. It was invented in the late, about 1918, 1919. But it was first patented in 1928. It's the oldest electronic instrument. It's the godfather of all synthesizers. And it is the only instrument that you play without touching it.
Okay, I knew we were going to get to that. And HowieZowie is going to be playing this instrument tomorrow at 9:40 at the London Public Library. So you can actually see this thing in action. Yeah, I think we were all with you all the way along with the earliest synthesizer, and then everything was sounding fine. You have one of your own now. It's seen it in the early 70s, and then you get to the part where you play it without touching it. That's where you lost us.
Well, what you have, it was originally, Leon Theremin was working not by choice for the Russian military, and they wanted him to build any kind of weapon that he could come up with, anything they could use. They thought maybe it could be used for mind control or to somehow send waves that would incapacitate the enemy. And what they decided was it was a motion detector, because it creates an electromagnetic wave, and when you pass a body through that wave or a body part, it creates a sound. It reacts. So they decided it was a motion detector. Leon fled the United States with the idea in his mind, this is an instrument. And that's how we got the theremin.
Okay, so you play it how? You mentioned you don't touch it, but how do you go about disrupting that electromagnetic wave that it's creating?
Well, you have two antennas. You have one that is your volume and one that's your pitch. So the one that is upright on your right hand is the pitch, and the one that is horizontal and on your left hand is your volume. So you are interacting with electromagnetic waves with proximity of your body parts, which cause the electronics to react.
We're talking with HowieZowie, who tomorrow, as part of the latest One Book, One launch, is going to be performing Musical started about 9:40. The actual One Book One London title reveal, which is taking place in the London Public Library, happens at 10 o'clock. That's at the Central Library on the main floor. But Howie, you're going to be providing some musical entertainment. So can you play songs that we will know, or do you kind of create songs out of the sounds that the theremin can make?
Well, you absolutely can play songs that people know. I mean, if you were to go on YouTube or Google and search theremin, you're going to inevitably be hit right in the face with like Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Like everybody loves to do that, and people like to play the Star Trek theme on it. Although the actual Star Trek theme does not have a theremin, even though everybody thinks it does. And but no, it was designed and envisioned of being, a proper musical instrument, and was supposed to be in there with, matter of fact, Clara Rockmore, who is the very first theremin virtuoso, was a world-class violinist, so she had great intonation. So playing something that she didn't have to touch, where it was up to her to find where the notes were, came second nature to her. And she started to play it because she started having joint issues and couldn't play the violin anymore. But as far as me, myself, I do play with a band, the local band called the Mongrels, and I'm doing, they're covering songs, so I'm playing parts of songs that you know. But usually when I'm sitting in with a plethora of artists in London, or with my own band, Prism Tape Philosophy, it's absolute improvisation. And tomorrow will be fully improvisational, inspired by the book that they chose for the event.
We're talking with HowieZowie, who will be performing at the Central Library, performing on the theremin, starting at 9:40 tomorrow, and the One Book One London title reveal happens at 10 o'clock. So how long did it take you to learn, let alone master, the theremin? Would you consider that you've mastered it?
Well, I will say this. Dana Manning introduces me as a theremin master, and I'll take it from her, but I would never utter the words myself. I will say this, it was an instrument that when I got one of my own, I just bonded with it instantly. Even though I'd been playing guitar for nearly 40 years, I felt more at home on the theremin immediately. And I've definitely carved my own style and my own niche. And so I've mastered being HowieZowie on theremin, but I wouldn't go up against the Caroline X or the Clara Rockmores of the world, I don't think.
Well, keep doing what you're doing, because it's as unique as it gets. HowieZowie, thank you so much for the time today.
Thank you for having me on, and we'll see you guys tomorrow at the library. I'll be starting at 9:40.
9:40, main floor, Central Public Library. Have a great afternoon.
You too, sir.
Bye-bye. That's HowieZowie, theremin player in London.